Okay, Alycia Baumgardner versus Elhem Mekhaled for the all the straps at super featherweight. Obviously, Baumgardner holds the WBC, WBO, IBF belts, and they're both fighting for the vacant WBA belts. And a fight that's I'd say has been on the cards for quite a while. Ever since Baumgardner beat May, I always felt it was the fight to make. It was obviously the everyone knows about the, I guess you can say, controversy over the Mayer and Baumgartner fight, but to me it was clear winner in the end, and I felt it was the only fight that really made sense after that fight, with obviously Baumgartner beating Mayer and having all the momentum on the side. And for Ellen Mekhaled, not seen much of her, I won't lie, but what I have seen, I've seen a few fights, and personally, she seems like a decent fight. Obviously, if you look at, first of all, if you go for Alycia Baumgardner's record, before we go into Mekhaled's. So with Baumgardner, obviously 13 wins, 7 KOs, and 1 loss, and then with Mekhaled, 15 wins, 3 KOs, and only 1 loss as well. So very very similar record in that respect. I think when you look at, I think Mekhaled's had 2 more fights, so slightly more experience, obviously French, and yeah, and like I said, I think obviously in the main event at Madison Square Garden, an interesting fight, but I do think in this fight, Baumgardner, she's the bigger name and she will be the favourite in this one. If you look at her last few fights, she obviously beat Michaela Mayer last time round. She then beat Edith Soldi Matthijs with the unanimous decision, then TKO Terry Harper beforehand. And so again, in that division there's not really much depth, so you have kind of standout names with women's boxing. Same thing with Clarissa Shields, same thing with Savannah Marshall, same thing with Serrano, who's also fighting on the main event of this card at MSG. So yeah, it's an intriguing fight, but let me just go into both fighters and what I feel they need to do. Starting off with Mekhaled. So with Mekhaled, I think in this fight she's not as quick as Baumgardner. She hasn't really got, I say Mekhaled, I think it's Mekhaled, but I do think that she hasn't really got the speed or the power advantage over Baumgardner. So my first thing, and I don't really like to encourage this, but I think it's probably the best shout, is to fight dirty. I think when we fight dirty, I don't mean like throwing elbows and fighting hitting below the bar. I mean going on the inside, using a lot of the dirty boxing. But obviously you can bend the rules to a certain extent, so I don't want her to be throwing headbutts or anything, but I think you're going to have to be a bit rough in this fight. Baumgardner has the power and the speed advantage over you, so to me, fighting a bit dirty and being a bit more physical, but not, I say physical, she's not as big as Baumgardner, but I do think it just makes more sense to me. I don't think if you have a straight shootout with her, you're going to lose, and I think even if you try and box her, you won't win either. Your best bet is to be a bit more physical and a bit more dirty in there. And the other one, and it kind of leads into the first point, is clinch a lot. I think using the clinch would be very important now. It's horrible to watch. I think the only way she wins is Mekhaled if she's a bit dirty in there, and she makes it a boring fight, a fight that nobody wants to watch. Remember back in the day when Vladimir Klitschko used to fight, he used to have some horrible fights. She needs to do that: jab, grab, clinch, and just fight. Just stall the fight essentially. I think clinching is very important though. I think if it stays at a mid-range or even in close, I don't think it suits Baumgardner way more. I think your best bet is to be a bit physical, clinch in there. And the third point, which I think is very important for her, is to stay on her toes. She is a relatively flat-footed fighter, so I don't think you can really afford to be like that against Baumgardner, especially with the power that she has. So I think go and being light on your feet. Moving around the ring, I don't think you realistically want to, like I said, stay in front of Baumgardner. You don't want to be a, just stationary target. I think the best bet for Mekhaled in this fight is to be a bit more dirty, clinch, and just make sure that she can't hit you. Ultimately, she may not be the slickest fighter, but if you can just stay on your toes and be a moving target for Baumgardner, it presents a more of a tougher task for Baumgardner than just staying stationary. And it's not something that she does, so I do wonder if she will do this, but I think it's smart. She kind of sometimes just walks forward. With Mekhaled, she has had a few fights where I felt like she looked a little bit stationary, and I think it was against Delphine Pearson, where she looked like she got bullied a few times in there. Now, Mekhaled in that fight was up close, especially. It felt as if she was almost hesitant in the clinch and a bit weak. And I think, but one thing she did show in the fight, that she can hop around the ring a bit, and she wasn't just going towards her like a zombie. So I think if you can implement that and be a bit more smart in the clinch with Baumgardner, I think it works out a lot better for you, I think. And I couldn't think wrong. I never ever, I'm 100% on who wins or who loses a fight. I feel like in a fight anything can happen, as everybody knows. So yeah, these are just things I think for Mekhaled that I think she should do. And for Alycia Baumgardner, the first thing I think she needs to do is start off quick in this fight. I don't think you don't really want to stall it out. I think if you can jump on it quick and make her uncomfortable from round one, I think you got a more of a chance, I think, of stopping her in the middle rounds. I think Baumgardner has some vicious body shots, and she's quicker. Maybe quick is the wrong word. Has that sort of fast twitch way of the way she throws her shots. It's very, very quick and explosive, which isn't something you've seen a lot with people with female fighters, to be honest. Naturally, in this division as well, you're more quicker than girls who are obviously in the higher weights like Clarissa Shields, but still, she's very, very fast hands and very explosive hands. And you saw that in the Mikaela Mayer fight. She started off so quick against Mikaela Mayer, and I don't think Mikaela Mayer really knew what to do in the first few rounds. Eventually, she kind of found her range and found her footing in the fight. But I think, to me, I'd say Baumgardner starting off quick, and then the second one is cutting off the ring, making sure that she cannot move and that she isn't able to circle around you. Baumgardner's quick, explosive, and she follows you around the ring. I said it before, she's like a female Errol Spence. So I think, to me, the best way that she has to really slow her down will be to cut off the ring. Don't give her any space to move around. Like I said, I think Mekhaled should be on the toes, and I don't think, with your Baumgardner, I don't think that's realistically something you want, especially with how you fight. You know, you're somebody who, she's quick on her feet, Baumgardner, but realistically, if you stick a stationary target in front of her, she will break her down and eventually stop her. And I think that's what will happen if she ends up being more of a stationary target in this one. So, and I think that's why I think Mekhaled should be a bit more lighter on the feet. So cutting off the ring will help her become more stationary. So I think that's the second cut off the ring. And then the third one is be very aggressive on the inside. I think this fight will suit Baumgardner at the middle range, but once it gets inside, that's where I think she throws the body shots. I think she slows her down drastically. I think the body shot's going to be big in this one, especially with the way Baumgardner throws it. And you look at Mekhaled's some of her fights before, she's open to the body shot a lot. So I personally think this is going to be it's a fight with Baumgardner. I think she has to be switched on and just has to perform the way that she does. I think, like I said, being quick, starting off quick, cutting off the ring, being aggressive on the inside, making it using your strength, making it a horrible fight for Mekhaled. Mekhaled needs to fight dirty, but I think with Baumgardner, she doesn't need to be dirty. She just needs to be aggressive and she needs to use her strength in there. She's physically a lot bigger than a lot of these girls, so I think that's something that she does tend to use to her advantage. So yeah, that is what I would say though for both of these fighters. Now, coming into my prediction, you can kind of tell, I guess, maybe how I've broke these two down, but I see nothing more than a Baumgardner win. I think Mekhaled maybe could do something on the scorecards if she fights in the way I said, if she makes it a little bit of a dirty boxing exchange, but I think Baumgardner will break her down with the body shots. I say around, what round would I say? I'd say around 6ish about that time. I think by that time she won't be able to I think the body shots will kind of, I think the power coming, and I think eventually she'll just overwhelm her, and I think Baumgardner gets it done, and I think she becomes undisputed at super featherweight. And like I said, I think she's the most, in my opinion, the most exciting female fighter out there at the moment. I think not many have her her explosiveness. I don't think many also have her how would I say this, that like superstar kind of feel about them. I think she has all of that in abundance. So yeah, I think Baumgardner gets this one done, and I think TKO in the 6th round. I don't think she'll get a knocker out cold, but I think she'll get her with a body shot. She'll go down, and then she'll just swarm her, and eventually the referee will step in. But yeah, a great good fight though. I'll also preview the Amanda Serrano and Cruz fight going up on the main event. So yeah, it should be going on Baumgardner and Elhem, Mekhaled, and yeah, until next time.